Good day, everyone. I'll be taking the English language class for today. My name is Mona. So we're going to be starting with comprehension. So the first question would be, what is comprehension? So comprehension refers to the ability to understand and make sense of something, particularly written or spoken language. So when we talk about reading comprehension, we mean, for example, it means understanding the meaning of the text, grasping the main ideas, recognizing details, and being able to make inferences or conclusions based on what has been read. So comprehension has to deal with or has to do with our daily life. So you have to, because when somebody speaks to you, you need to understand, you need to analyze, you need to be sure that if any question is being thrown at you, you'll be able to answer. So you communicating or discussing with someone, it's a comprehension kind of, because your questions could be thrown at you for you to answer. Okay, so we'll be going through some comprehension passages to see if we can understand, interpret, and analyze the passages. So some questions will be asked and answers are expected from the comprehension passage. So let's start with comprehension passage A. So I read, the little boy eagerly rushed to the park every morning during his summer vacation. He loved watching the dogs swim in the pond and enjoyed playing on the swing. His favorite time was when his grandmother would join him, telling him stories of her own childhood. So this is a comprehension passage, as little as it is. We can get several questions from this. So why are we asking questions from a comprehension passage is because we want to know that you will have better understanding and then you understood what you've read. So now we'll go to the questions. Question 1. Question 1 says, what did the little boy do every morning during his summer vacation? Now, if you understood the passage earlier, you will be able to answer this. So now we'll go back over to the passage again now. So the little boy eagerly rushed to the park every morning during his summer vacation. So that has already answered this question. What did the little boy do every morning during the summer vacation? He eagerly rushed to the park every morning during his summer vacation. I'm sure you got that. So let's go to the next one. Number 2, it says, what activity did the boy enjoy watching at the park? So if we've read this together, so would go and look for this answer. What activity did the boy enjoy watching at the park? He loved watching the dogs swim in the pond and enjoy playing on the swing. So it is a direct and straightforward question and answer. So they said, what activity did the boy enjoy watching at the park? He loved watching the dogs swim in the pond and enjoy playing on the swing. So next question would be, number 3 says, what was the boy's favorite activity at the park? So one of my tips for comprehension passage or answering comprehension passages question would be to look for a word in the question and try to find it in the comprehension passage. So for example, what was the boy's favorite activity at the park? So I would want to just pick a word, favorite, and I will go to the passage and look for that word, because somehow that answer could be around that word. So let's go. Where do we have favorite? Okay, yes, so it's here. His favorite time. And now the question says, what was the boy's favorite activity at the park? So his favorite time was when his grandmother would join him, telling him stories of her own childhood. So that is his own favorite activity at the park. So it will be when his grandmother would come and then tell him stories about her childhood. Okay, so the next question says, who accompanied the boy to the park? Okay, so now we go over the question again. Now this story is talking about the boy, but if you notice, there's another person in this story, which is the grandmother. So the obvious answer to number 4 question would be, the grandmother accompanied him to the park, because his favorite time was when his grandmother. So it means that there was a time the grandmother actually came to the park with him. Number 5 says, what did the grandmother do that made the boy happy? What did the grandmother do that made the boy happy? So going over the question again, it would be, His favorite time was when his grandmother would join him, telling him stories of her own childhood. So, what did the grandmother do? She told him stories of her own childhood, which made the boy happy. So, we'll go over another comprehension passage to make sure that you really understand how to answer comprehension questions. So, let's go to comprehension passage B. Okay, so for comprehension passage B, so I read, in a small village nestled between mountains, there was a tradition that every year on the first day of spring, the villagers would gather to plant new trees. The event was not only a celebration of nature, but also a reminder of the importance of preserving the environment for future generations. That is the passage. So now to the question. Remember, the aim of reading any passage is to answer the questions and then answer those questions correctly. So number one question says, where was the village located? Now, where was it located? So if we go over the comprehension passage again, it says in a small village nestled between mountains. So the village was located between mountains. Number 7 says, what tradition did the villagers have on the first day of spring? Now go over again. As I said in the last passage, in the last comprehension passage, I said most times you can actually just pick a word from the question, look for it in the comprehension passage, and then because there's this belief that the answers could be around that word. So now, what tradition did the villagers have on the first day of spring? Now, guess where there is spring? Okay, there. Then I read, there was a tradition that every year on the first day of spring, the villagers would gather to plant new trees. So the tradition is every year or the beginning of spring, the villagers gather to plant new trees. The next question says, what was the purpose of this tradition? So remember, look for purpose or importance, something similar. So we see importance. So yeah, this event was not only a celebration of nature, but also a reminder of the importance of preserving the environment for future generations. So the purpose of this tradition now is a celebration of nature and also a reminder of preserving the environment. Next question says, how often did the tree planting event occur? How often? If you go back to the passage, it says every year on the first day of spring. So how often? Every year. The next question says, why was this event important to the villagers? So the importance of this is because it helped them to celebrate nature and also remind them of preserving the environment for future generations to come. Okay, so that's all for comprehension passage. I hope you're able to understand comprehension and questions that could likely come from comprehension, and also understand that when you are given a comprehension passage, it is ideal for you to read, understand, and analyze, because questions would definitely come out from that passage. So next to the next section of this class, which will be about English language in general, where we have the vocabulary, the synonyms, the verbs, the nouns. So let's get into that right away. Okay, so for the next section, we're going to be talking about English in general. So these questions cover basic grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. So let's go over the question together, shall we? So the first one says, choose the correct article to fill in the blank. She is dash teacher. So the option, is it she is a teacher, she is an teacher, or she is the teacher? So which one makes more sense to the ear? Which one makes more meaning to the ear? So it should be she is a teacher. The next question says, which of the following is a noun? First and first is, what is a noun? A noun is a naming word. So a noun names a place, a person, animal, a thing. So here, what is naming? What is the name here? Is it quickly? Is it happy? Is it apple? Obviously, a fruit, apple. So the answer to that is C, apple. The next question says, identify the correct past tense of the verb go. So if you want to say go, but in the past tense form, is it goes, is it gone, or is it went? Option A says goes, B gone, C went. So the past tense of go, is it goes, gone, or went? So the past tense of go is went. Okay, the past tense is went. The next question is, choose the correct pronoun to replace the underlined word. Sarah likes to read. So we are looking for pronouns to replace the underlying word. So you know example of pronouns are he, she, they, yeah? Okay, so now Sarah is a feminine name. So it should, is it A, he likes to read, or she likes to read, or they likes to read? So because Sarah is a feminine name, it is she likes to read. The next question says, which word is a verb? So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is a verb? So a verb is an action word or a doing word. So which one here is an action or is something somebody is doing? So let's see. A, running, B, beautiful, and C, cat. So running is an action word. The guy is running, he ran from here to there. So it's an action word. So the answer is running. Next question, select the correct form of the verb to complete the sentence. Verb, remember, is an action word. So to complete this sentence, they dash playing soccer. Is it they A is playing soccer, or they are playing soccer, or they am playing soccer? Which one makes sense or a complete sentence to you? It is they are playing soccer. So the answer is B. So the next question says, which sentence is the future tense? Which sentence is the future tense? So we know we have past tense, we have present tense, and we have future tense. So future tense means something that's going to happen later. So option A says, I walk to school. Option B say, I will walk to school. And option C say, I walked to school. So let's analyze the options. I walk to school. It's something you're doing now. I walk to school. I will walk to school. It means that you are not already working. You would walk to school tomorrow, or maybe later in the next 5-10 minutes. The next option says, I walked to school. It means a past tense. Yesterday, I walked to school. So the correct answer for this question is B, I will walk to school. Okay, let's go to the next question. So the next question says, which of the following is an adjective? So as I would always say, what is an adjective? So an adjective is a word used to modify a noun, used to describe a noun. So which of these can describe a noun? Remember, a noun is a naming word. So A, slowly, B, quickly, C, C, quickly. So which of these is an adjective that could describe a noun? And the answer is B, which is happy. The answer is B, which is happy. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. Choose the correct spelling. So obviously you would see we are trying to spell Wednesday. So the first say Wednesday, there is no D. The second says Wednesday. It doesn't make sense. C, Wednesday. Which of these is the correct spelling? So we take C because that is how Wednesday is supposed to be spelled. Okay, so the next question says, which word is a synonym for big? First thing is, what is synonym? So synonym is similar. What can we use in replacement of big? If I don't want to use big, what can I possibly use? Okay, so A, large, B, small, and C, tiny. So we're going to take what big cannot be said to be small, B cannot be said to be tiny. So the obvious answer is A, which is large. Thank you very much for joining this class. Would love to see you in our next class. Thank you.